Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Al-Hajj ashhurun ma'lumat. فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج وما تفعلوا من خير يعلمه الله وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى واتقون يا أولي الألباب صدق الله العظيم. Respected brothers and sisters who are listening, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're going to go over some tips about Hajj, hints and tips and things about Hajj, and these are going to be a combination of the things that I've experienced myself in going to Hajj. Alhamdulillah, I've gone out there for about five times, we've done Hajj, and also done Umrah a few times, I think 3 or 4 times. So this is really for the brothers and sisters who want to take some advice on things that you don't normally find in books. So if somebody is listening to this because they want to learn how to do Hajj and how to perform every single step, this is not the lecture for it. Okay? I'm not going to go through all the fiqh parts of it. I'm going to mention a few things here and there that relate to the experience that I've had and I've seen people going through and the difficulties people face. And this whole thing is to try and make Hajj easy for you, inshallah, right from the minute that you decide to go till you have actually completed it, from the time that you're trying to make your bookings and so on. All the things that I've actually experienced, I want to try and say, and this is for all the people of the world, inshallah, especially the people in the West, because what I'm going to say as my experience is going to relate a lot more towards us in the West, but even people in the East can take benefit from this, inshallah, as well. So to begin with, people who are going for Hajj, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, why in the world are you going for Hajj? Why do you want to go all the way to Makkah al-Mukarramah, do the sacrifice, yourself, and spend all your wealth and make that journey over there, spend your time in the heat and with ihram over your body, when you can just sit home and relax and read your Quran tilawa and do the other dhikr or adhkar? Why make that journey? You seriously got to ask yourself a question, because there are people I've seen, I tell you, the people who find it difficult are not the people who are only sort of physically unprepared for Hajj, but the real people who find Hajj difficult are the people who are mentally unprepared for Hajj. Somebody asked me once, I was going for Hajj, they said, you're going for Hajj? I said, yes. He said, are you physically prepared? Have you been walking up and down, the hills over there and, got yourself into good shape? I said, that didn't even occur to me. Seriously, that didn't even occur to me. You go for Hajj, okay, maybe you're not used to walking so many miles, and you go over there, you get used to it. That's the small part of it. You probably get a blister or two on your feet. That's just a small part of it. I wasn't even concerned about that. I said, look, my preparation is a mental preparation, and you've seriously got to ask yourself a question. If you haven't made yourself mentally prepared for this journey, ask yourself, why are you going? Why are you making a journey when Allah's told us that the biggest thing you put into your suitcase or in your luggage when you go is got to be taqwa, is got to be the mental consciousness, the awareness of Allah. Allah said, وَخَيْرُ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. He said, pack your bags up for Hajj. Allah said, pack your luggage up. But when you pack your luggage up, make sure that the best part of your luggage you're going to bring to Hajj is going to be taqwa. It's going to be the awareness you have of me. Subhanallah, Allah says that, and people are making, people make this journey. I tell you, a lot of people, why they make this journey is because they've got to do it, because every Muslim is doing it, and if they don't do it, it's going to be a shame on them. Just like when you have some people have the youngsters come to the masjid. If my young child doesn't finish the Quran, then it's a social stigma on me. People will say to me, "Beta ne Quran khatam nahi kiya, your son hasn't really finished the Quran yet, what's happening, or what juz is your son on or your daughter on?" And it becomes a social thing to live up to. And some people actually go for Hajj just for this reason. There's no other reason. It's like, well, let me just get it out on the way and just over and done with. That's not a real good intention, to just get it over and done with. It's almost like a burden, like some of us who come for Salah and it's like, oh yeah, let me just get it done, man. I've just got to get it done. That's not what we do. Why we do ibadah. Ibadah is supposed to be something that you enjoy, and Hajj is supposed to be something that You seriously got to be prepared for it. Otherwise, Hajj will tire you out, seriously. And not only tire you out physically, but mentally it will drain you out. And I've seen people lose their anger. One of the things I must say to you, I'll give you some advice that someone gave to me once. Again, another Hajj I was going to, and he said, you really got to take this much sabr. And he stretched both of his arms like this much sabr with you in your luggage. And he said, when you come back, you probably come back with this much. When you come back, you probably come back with this much, if you're lucky. It's true. It really, really tests you, Hajj does. What tests you? The buildings don't test you. The places don't test you. The people test you. And you've got to be prepared to be among millions of people who are all coming with so many different intentions. And some of these people are seriously selfish. They haven't sorted themselves out. See, what Hajj is supposed to do is, the Hajj came in our Prophet ﷺ's seerah at the last stage of his seerah. Do you know what actually happened before that? 22 years prior to the Prophet ﷺ's mission, he had all these things. He had the revelation of the Quran slowly seething in the hearts of the believers. These revelations gave them the beliefs of Allah. They made them have sabr, have patience. They told them to have tawakkul and dependence on Allah. They told them to, jahidu, make sure that you strive with your wealth, strive with your health, strive with your bodies for Islam, for Allah. Be people who are upright, istaqimu, be some people who are absolutely, standing their grounds in Islam. And there's going to be this thing, massatumul ba'sa wa darra'u wa zulzilu, and there's going to be this kind of affliction and that affliction. You're going to be shaken from beneath your feet, but you're still believers. You're still, standing on your feet and so on. That's all the history of this. Now listen more to it. So they were going through a lot of patience about the conflicts faced with the mushrikeen and the polytheists and the non-believers who are persecuting them. They were abusing them, making mockery out of them. Some of them were actually physically hit, struck, thrown on the ground. Some of them were killed. They became shaheed. Many of them had, marks on their bodies from the early part of Islam. And after good 13 years, they migrated. They left their luggage, they left their houses, they left their wives, they left their children for the sake of Allah and His Messenger. They went to Medina. They started their lives all over again. Okay. Then they had the battles. People came to kill them. Serious, man. They came to kill them. And these people, just before they came for this migration, Allah sent the 5 daily prayers. This is where, after 9-10 years of all this, hustle, bustle, all this, pressure on them, that's when Salah came. When Salah came, then they found themselves focused, trying to have devotion towards Allah. Then when they came to Medina, after 1 or 2 years, that's when fasting was prescribed on them. So this was 14 years in the mission. And then in the same year, zakah was given to them, that they must give some wealth. So, they're getting used to that, giving zakah. Then sadaqah, a lot of sadaqah. Then after another 4 years, came hijab. Seriously. It wasn't in one go. And after a few years, after when they came to Medina, then alcohol was banned and gambling was banned, and the riba usually was banned in the last year of the Prophet ﷺ's life. So there was a long period, they were taking all these jahiliyyah and ignorance out of them. They're getting more and more focused. They're hearing the adhan. They come to the masjid. They build themselves up year in, year out. They're doing, they're fasting. And then every year, a lot of them are joining the Prophet ﷺ in i'tikaf, in 10 days in the masjid, trying to devote themselves to Allah. And then they had the other fast outside, so 6 fasts of Shawwal. Many of them were following the Prophet ﷺ doing that, and Muharram, the fast of that, Dhul Hijjah, the 9 fasts of that, and the 2 fasts of the week, Mondays and Thursdays, and the 3 fasts in the middle of the month, and they're prepping themselves up. And Salah, forget that, they must have started like everybody else, just doing the fara'id and so on, but slowly they see the Prophet doing the sunnah and the nawafil, so they follow him doing that, and they slowly start to have a love and admiration for this, and they're looking forward to salah, and they want to pray, and their whole bodies are inclined towards Allah and His Messenger, and they really have got a great spirit inside them of being inclined towards the akhirah, towards the next life. They don't care about this world. That's the spirit they were in. And when they got to that stage where money doesn't matter because they're giving it in zakah and sadaqah, when the bodies don't matter, because when the Prophet ﷺ calls them to go out and to defend Islam, they're up and ready. Nothing matters. They can leave these things. Their own bodies, when they see others hurting them, they know how to do sabr, man. They've been through the worst. When all that has taken place, then Allah tells them, go for Hajj. You know what this was? This was the icing on the cake. This was the cream. Because now, it's like Allah's asking me and asking all my fellow men, He's asking us to actually pretend that we're going to actually die for the sake of Allah, and we're going to go with one journey to meet Allah while we're alive. How can you do that? Well, that was the whole point of Hajj. That, oh my servant, you've made all these sacrifices for me. So I'm asking you now to come to this station and come to this place where there is this Kaaba and Baytullah. And I'm asking you to come with 2 pieces of unsewn clothing. And I'm asking you to give up everything. So give up all behind you and pretend that you are dead men, dead women. So the women, obviously, Allah's made it easy for them. They've got the normal clothes and they've got the ihram on top. So Allah's made it easy for them. But for the men, it's, look, just give up everything and pretend that you're dead for these few days. And when you come here, you're coming here with, with animals that they brought with them. They took their animals from Medina all the way to Makkah al-Mukarramah. These are animals they raised. Animals, when you raise an animal becomes affectionate towards you. And an animal, you feed it and it knows you, and you can, like, every time it sees you, it'll come all the way up to you and you give it some food, and it's waiting for you in the evening to come back, and it knows, it just comes near you and it starts to stroke its back against you and so on. Animals do that. Pets do that. Their own pets. Allah said, take one with you. And you're going to have to sacrifice it yourself with the blade. It's not easy. And you come all the way to Makkah al-Mukarramah. And imagine the journey. The journey for them was 2 weeks. 2 weeks on the planes to get to Makkah al-Mukarramah. Okay, they got there. And for them it was, subhanAllah, for them it was, you give up everything. You're dead now. You can't cut your fingernails for that reason, because the dead man don't cut his fingernails. You can't trim your beard and your moustache while you're in your ihram, and that's the reason why. You can't even pull a hair out, because a dead man don't do that. Allah's telling us to be dead. You can't kill a mosquito or kill, a fly or whatever else it is while you're in ihram. You just respect what's around you. You just stay devoted to me, because a dead man don't do that. You don't cut your hair, you don't shave your hair, you don't put shampoo on yourself, you don't soap your body, no perfume, no nothing. Why? Because you're supposed to be dead. And a dead man, why are we supposed to be dead? Because all these years, you've been praying to Allah, devoted to Allah, fasting for Allah, giving zakat for Allah, giving sadaqah, building yourself up, having your sabr, your patience, giving people their rights, taking whatever it is, and you're showing your true Muslim identity, and you're getting so close to Allah, so close to Allah. Allah, what do you want me to do next? Allah says, okay, give more money. Okay, I've given it. What do you want me to do next? Allah says, give me, do some nafil fasting for me. Voluntary fast. Oh, Allah, I've done that. What do you want me to do next? Allah says, well, go and help someone who others are not helping. Okay, I've done that. What do you want me to do next? Allah, what do you want me to do next? And Allah says, okay, come to Baytullah. Come to my house. Not that Allah lives there, but this is a place Allah has honored. So come to this honored house and go and pretend that you're actually, you're dead for my sake. So here's the Hujjaj. When they came for Hajj, when they said, Labbaik, Allahumma labbaik. When they said that, is, oh Allah, here I am. Oh Allah, here I am. Here I am. La sharika lak. No partners, no one associated with you. I don't know anyone right now. I only know you. Innal hamda. Praise of my whole life belongs to you. Ni'mah, every gift I got for my whole life, I'm saying it's you. Wal mulk, the kingdom, whatever I see is owned by you. La sharika lak, you have no one that I can see that is equal to you. Labbaik, oh Allah, I'm here. Oh Allah, I'm here. Oh Allah, I'm here. Where are you? Oh Allah, I'm here. Oh Allah, I'm here. This is joy. This is the joy of a believer, to come to spend some time and spend a few days with Allah Azza wa Jal in a way that this person has never done that. And Allah says for 5 days. Imagine that you're dead. Imagine you're in Akhirah. And when you go to Arafat, when you go to the plains of Arafat, it's supposed to be like the Day of Judgment. Everybody in white sheets, white cloths, all the whole of day, everybody's putting their hands towards Allah. Everybody's beseeching Allah. Why? Because everybody wants forgiveness. This is the Day of Judgment. This is like the Day of Judgment. That is what it's supposed to be like. Now, when Hujjaj are out there, when Hajis are out there, what they're supposed to do? Every Hajj is supposed to look after another Haji, not to hurt a Haji, not to step over a Haji, not to, because he is a person calling Allah, just like I'm calling Allah, and he's come to Allah for the Day of Judgment, and I've come for the same reason, and I'm not supposed to hurt anyone. And that's the mindset we're supposed to have. Now, it's totally different from what goes on right now, guys. Alright, so I'm going to wake you up in a little while. You're all thinking, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Yes, MashaAllah. First, when you first go to Hajj and you see all the Muslims, everyone's smiling and all the different countries are coming together. Everyone says, MashaAllah, yeah? And after a little while, when they start to, get a bit of hustle bustle, they say, Astaghfirullah, brother, Astaghfirullah, brother. After a little while, they say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, get away from me. I'm telling you, you've got to be prepared for it. Not that we should act like this in Hajj, but I'm going to give you some tips on how to avoid all of the wrong things that are happening out there and what to do with yourself. So the first thing is your mindset. Have you got your mindset in the right place? There are people who are going for Hajj who don't even know how to pray properly. I think that's really wrong. If you're a person listening to this, you've never been to Hajj before, listen, guy, spend some time getting used to your faith, what your faith is, your beliefs are, a little bit, find out from people in your local masjid. Go and pray. Go and start praying 5 times a day and get yourself used to that. At least that much. Because you know what you see out there? The worst thing is people end up in hotels. They're not even going to the haram to pray. They're sleeping in their hotels. It's like Ramadan. Ramadan comes, people in Aisha, they're there, man. Taraweeh, yeah, man, I'm ready for 20 rakats, bro. And Fajr, nah, bruv. Dhuhr time, too busy, man, I'm working. Asr, I'm shopping. Maghrib, yeah, Iftar, Maghrib, yeah. And Isha, they're there for Taraweeh and so on, but the rest of the Salah, they don't do it. I mean, it's a kind of a joke, because thing is, what are you can't leave one pillar for another pillar of Islam. These are all fard. Just as Allah says, Salah is fard, fasting is fard, and Hajj is fard. So you can't just leave one for the other. So build your stamina with your salah, build your stamina with your fasting, build your stamina with this other part. I mean, I know it's not all a condition. Like if a person who actually went for Hajj and he wasn't a person who was doing all of this, his Hajj still will be accepted as long as he does all the other things he's supposed to do out there. But that's not the point. The point is you want to do a good Hajj that actually changes your life, because the people of the past, they did Hajj to change. This was like the icing on the cake when they wanted to change their life. Like aqaid, beliefs, shahada, it changed their life. Mentally, making themselves aware of the diseases of the heart and getting rid of them, like stinginess, being a person with jealousy, getting rid of that, getting rid of pride and arrogance and hatred for people, getting rid of all that. These were things that early Muslims went through, and this is real preparation. Then salah and the mindset a person has in devoting themselves to Allah. Then fasting is a big sacrifice for Allah. So when you get used to that and giving your money and not feeling that you're held back for that reason, then you're prepared. You're well prepared for this journey of Hajj. But anyway, you're going for Hajj. Ask yourself, why is it that you're going? Don't just go because your mates are just going and they say, yeah, you want to come along. It's not a holiday. It's not a picnic. And what people do these days is that Hajj, unfortunately, it's become somewhat like a business. And I want to tell you straight up, I can't stand it. People have turned this holy journey where you're supposed to take people over there. Okay, you want to make a bit of money, make a bit of money. But you know how much these guys are making? They're making thousands of pounds. Right now, so this year is 2015, okay? This year is 2015 or 1436. You can say, now, just a couple of years ago, if somebody was charging you £5,000 for a 5-star package, or 5,500 for a 5-star package, they were easily making £2,000. This is information from people who are in Makkah and Mukarramah, who've lived there, who stayed there, who know the hotels, who know the prices in Hajj, who know the deals, and they've told me this, that at that time they're making £2,000 per Haji easy. So when you find, and this is for that time you could go for about a 5-star package with that kind of price. And maybe, okay, even if they're spending extra on you, £1,500 they're making on you. So imagine they take 100 people with them. 100 people. 100 people times £2,000. What's that? How much is it? Come on, guys. £200,000. Brother, we're not talking small money here. Even if he charges you £1,500 extra, I'm talking about his profit, he's making £150,000. Even if he makes £1,000 per Hajj, he's making £100,000 by the time he's finished. This is pure profit. This is after all his expenses. It's sick. And you try and go out there and try and tell him, and doesn't, Hajj, we're making a loss. No, bro, Hajj, no, we're making a loss. We're making a loss. I feel like grabbing these guys and sorting them out. Now it's worse. Now you can't even get a package. I mean, these are 5-star packages I'm talking about. For we get it for about 6,000, 7,000. Some now they're saying starting price is 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. People are paying up to £12,000 for a single Hajj because they want that luxury package. Some people need it because of their health situation. Some people want it, and some people they're forced into taking one. But what I want to say to you is that you can still find packages that will cost you like £4,000, will cost you a little less than that maybe, but you're going to have to lose certain things. So what are the questions you want to ask? See, one thing, please don't go with, when you hear about Hajj and you look at television, the television brings you all these adverts, yeah? Sometimes the people who advertise, sometimes are the worst people. They got the money to advertise. Advertising doesn't mean they're the best, okay? What you want to do is go to the internet, type in Google, type in Hajj reviews. I think it's called hajreviews.com. Now what you'll see is you'll see a list of people who've been with certain companies, all the different companies out there. Type in the company inside there and then find out what people have said. You're going to get a lot of mixed reviews. Sometimes what happens is one company takes you out. This year they've done a really bad job. They've botched it all up. And sometimes they could be better the next year. The best way to find out which group to go with is you ask the people who've been with them before. So last year, did you know anyone that went with this group? Do you know people who went the previous year with this group? If you do, go and ask them. Go and ask the people in the community. They're the best people who tell you whether you want to go with them or not. They'll tell you all the budgets, all the hidden things. They're hidden things. Yes, brother. Hidden things that when you get over there and things go wrong, they go, Haji sabr, sabr Haji. They want you to take your sabr out now, use your sabr, don't say anything, just keep your mouth shut, let me make my money. No, listen, mate, why do you tell me about this stuff? So what kind of stuff am I talking about? Well, the first thing you want to ask them, let's say for example, I want to tell you first thing, ask the people who've been with them. Second is go to Hajj reviews, or there's other reviews that are coming up on the internet. Find out comparatively who's saying what. Some people will be swearing at some of these companies. And some people will be praising them. So go and find out, do your research. Next thing, what do you do? Well, when you pick the phone up, don't get tied into giving them money straight away. They're all going to say to you, okay, mashallah, these are the prices, this is whatever, that's it. We'll hold your price till tomorrow, or till next week or 2 weeks time. And if you don't pay us by then, you're not going to get a seat with us. They're talking a load of nonsense. Unless it's just 4 weeks before the Hajj season, that's when they're losing all their seats. If it's Ramadan or if it's before Ramadan, right, and you're phoning up to try and go for Hajj, don't fall for the game that they're going to, be out of seats. And the other thing you do is that they're going to tell you that you should give a deposit. Don't give no deposit. None of these companies, they say, sorry brother, have a nice day, goodbye. Get off the phone. Why? Because once they take a deposit of you, even if you change your mind, a lot of them won't give your deposit money back. You lose £100, £200 for nothing. And they will take that for nothing, absolute nothing. They don't need to take that money from you. So what are the questions you're going to ask them? Well, first ask them, you're going to ask them how long it is. Okay, maybe you're going for a 2 weeks one, some people go for a 3 weeks one, fine. You're going to ask them about the hotels. So they'll say you this hotel in Makkah and that hotel in Medina, fine. Can you ask them whether you're going to stay for the entire 2 weeks in just both these hotels? Ask them whether there's going to be a single night either in a different hotel or a single night without a hotel. You're going to think, what? A single night without a hotel? Yeah, brother. See what they do here. The prices for those 5 days of Hajj. is very, very, very expensive. They're paying probably maybe, I don't know, £600 per night, £400 per night for a Haji to stay in the hotel. If they can somehow make you travel to Medina by night time on the coach, that means they lose one day. Yeah, they're saving £400 per Haji extra. If they've got 100 people, £400, how much is that? 40k, brother! You save. If you can save that one night, you see the scams that are going on? So you better ask them whether every single night you've got it booked. And get that, if you can get it in writing. And the other one you want to look at for is the IATA, this stamp, IATA, whether they're actually been regulated. And the other thing you want to see is that if they are legitimately under the Saudi, the Saudi embassy has got certain companies that they directly give the visas out to. You'd rather go with them and not a sub-agent. See, there are sub-agents that buy visas from others. There's a whole game going out there. Because there are original people who were there from before, they get the visas straight away. And what they do, let's say they've got 600 visas. They know they can't sell 600 visas. They will keep 300 for themselves, 300 they'll give out, and they'll sell for a higher price to others who cannot get a direct visa from the Saudi embassy. But the others, sub-agents, they're not regulated. And even if you grasp them up to the Saudi embassy, nothing's going to happen. But if you go with someone who's directly under the Saudi embassy, getting the visas direct from them, then if you tell the Saudi embassy how they messed you up, they may lose their next year's visa. And you want to go with them because you can seriously get them. You can go to your embassy and I'll tell you, they'll tell you can't do anything out there. But I'll tell you one thing, you can do everything out there and I'll tell you the procedures of it. But you need to make sure that you've made those moves first. That they've got their IATA symbol on there, they've been regulated, they've got the visas directly from the embassy. And ask this question, have they got Azizia in the package? Now, some of you might not be bothered about Azizia. Some of you may not know what Azizia is. Azizia is a hotel near Mina. Okay? Now they're going to tell you, don't worry Haji, you go with us, there's going to be 5 days Azizia, so we'll give you 5 days in Makkah hotel or 3 days there, then 5 days Azizia, then you go to Medina and Medina will give you 5-star. Look, when you hear Azizia, you want to ask yourself a question. Do you know, they're going to tell you that, don't worry about it, the bus is frequently coming from Mina all the way to the Haram, it'll only take you 45 minutes to get there. When they say 45 minutes to you, it means 45 minutes outside of the Hajj season. 45 minutes in Hajj season could be 2 hours. It could be 2.5 hours, depending on what happens on the roads and medical, things that are going on the road, Hajjis that are walking all over the roads, road blocks and all the kind of things. You don't know. And do you really want to be so many miles away for those few days and living just because they want to save a bit of money from it? So you go away and you're in a place where you can't really come to the Haram. You're going to end up praying in the hotel. I'll tell you another thing that happens in Azizia, which they will never tell you. Even if they die, they'll never tell you. Now the big question is, tell them, when I'm in my hotel in Makkah, how many people are sharing the toilet? Straight up, they're going to say, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, I'm talking about toilet, mate. Toilet? How many people? Toilet? If you think about it, in your house, if you've got one toilet and there's 5 individuals, right? You've all got to time it, right? He goes 8 o'clock, then I go 8:10, then she goes 8:15, then 8:20. You got to time it, all right? You got 2 toilets, okay, fine. It depends, okay? They're going to tell you there's loads of toilets in the hotel, fine. But how many of you are sharing one toilet? Because imagine at Hajj time, you've got, sometimes I've been stuck once here. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. 14 people sharing one toilet in a bathroom where the taps don't even work properly. You know how that hurts, brother, when you're going for a long call, yeah, and as soon as you just entered and you're about to do it, someone's knocking on the door. Hey, hurry up! So, man, hurry up! I haven't even started yet, man. Hurry up! 14 people to one toilet. Sometimes, Azizia, there's one guy told me 34 people to one toilet. 34. You know what people ended up doing? People ended up going outside Azizia between 2 cars, putting the ihram up and boom. Seriously, so this guy in North London told me, he said he saw some guy, la hawla wa la quwwata, he just took with the ihram up between 2 cars and bloom. So he grabbed him, he said to him, he said, what are you doing? He said, what can I do? What can I do? 34 people waiting for one toilet. The queue for that, and you got a stomachache, what are you going to do? You're going to have to let it out one way or another, brother. Either over the hills or you're going to find the nearest place you can. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So you're asking the question, how many people are sharing a toilet? Because some of these hotels, they've got 7 people, sometimes 10 people sharing one toilet. Okay, if you're going with a good package in a good room, you might get ensuite and so on, but still find out. Because when they say 3-2 room, 4-2 room, most of them, man, I tell you, they're crooks out there, yeah. The room's been designed for 2 to a room. What the hotel guys are going to do, they're going to stick another bed inside there. So 3 to a room means you're a bit more squashed. 4 to a room means you've hardly got breathing space in there. But if you're okay with that, alhamdulillah, fine. Because, and if you ever hear, 5-star, yeah, 5-star in the rest of the world means 5-star. 5-star in Makkah means 2-star. Or probably 1-star. Or sometimes, 4-star means no star. All right, seriously. They've got their own league. They're in their own league. They don't care about the rest of the world. And what you've got to understand is when they've said to you 5-star, one of the good things to actually do is to, when you get there, your hotel room, if you're not happy with it, just tell your group leader. And most likely they're going to tell you to just do sabr. I remember one guy went with me, man. If he was boiling out there, he had his, the AC. If you switched his AC on, it sounded like a tractor. The guy couldn't sleep all night because of the sound. If you switched it off, okay, the noise is gone, but the heat would not allow him to sleep. When he went and complained, this is my group, when he went and complained, he was told, have sabr, Hajj, well, you didn't have sabr, all that. Right? The guy paid you money for this. He expects a service for this. And then the hotel guy said, look, I told this guy, man, I'm not 5-star. Why does he advertise me as 5-star? The hotel manager is telling him, I told this guy last year not to bring people here on 5-star. And they're doing this crooked thing out there. So ask this question about the hotels. And when they say to you that the hotel is only 2 minutes away from, brother, 2 minutes away from the haram. You know what 2 minutes means? 2 minutes means outside of Hajj. So if you want to walk to the haram in 2 minutes outside of Hajj, you can do it. In Hajj, you want to walk 2 minutes, it will take you 20 minutes. And the other thing is, the hotels that are, the posh, big, lush hotels, the Zamzam and all these big ones, yeah, they're some of the worst ones you can ever go to. They're right in front of the haram, but they're the worst ones. Why? Because they've got 3 lift shafts. 3 shafts. So you go down, imagine you're on the 28th floor, yeah? So you go down 8 to 10 floors down, then you've got to come out, because that lift doesn't go to the bottom. So you've got to come out, you've got to go around, go to the next lift. Wait for that lift. Wait. Okay, the lift comes. Get inside, right? Go through another shaft. Down another 10, 15 floors. Then you've got to come out again. Go to a third one. Because these hotels are so large, they can't have one going all the way down to the bottom. That's how large they are. They've got about 50 stories. I don't know how many stories they are. So going through 3 shafts, you know what happens in the salah time? You have to get out for your salah 25 minutes, half an hour early, 35 minutes early. Otherwise, you're not getting for salah. Because it takes you about 10 minutes to just get to the bottom of your hotel. Sometimes 15 minutes, depending on how long you wait. And then you have to walk around there and get to the haram. And then once you go to the haram, if the adhan is gone, and forget it, you're probably not going to get inside there for salah. So you'll end up reading in the streets. So when they give you all these minutes, don't take all that with you. And especially people who really need the step-free access, please ask these questions. There are a lot of steps out there in Makkah because it's all built on hills. There's hardly you will find a hotel that can give you step-free from the hotel all the way to the haram. I'm saying this especially for our disabled brothers or sisters or people who need that thing for them in Hajj time. Now, the other thing is you're going to ask them, okay, try and get a package that gives you food as well. At least gives you breakfast and 1 meal. Why? You don't want to be going around Hajj time getting food, brother, sister. It's not a nice thing, I tell you. You know why it's not nice? Because 5 million people are getting their food at the same time. And if you go to the close shops near the haram, I'm saying wallahi to you once, I went outside the haram and I walked a good probably quarter mile outside the haram. And I went to this normal Pakistani hotel, normal, right? Just to get a 10 riyal, plate of food and some chabatis and so on. Their crush there was so bad, it was like being in front of the black stone. They were almost crushing my body and they're all crushing each other. And you think why? Because everybody, out there, it's not brother, you go first, brother, you go first, brother, none of that business. He said, hey, give me my food. Oh, give me, here, yalla. Everyone's just pushing over, putting their hands over, ticket here, take my ticket. You know when they do that? You're in the middle, you're going to get crushed. So what's better? First is try and get your package to give you food, at least breakfast and one meal if they can. If nothing, at least breakfast or something, right? Because seriously, out there, you have to walk, the further you walk away from the haram, the cheaper the goods are, the cheaper the meals are, sometimes even the better the meals are, the less queue you will find, and you'll be able to eat comfortably. So if you're okay for that, to do a good walk away from the haram, let's say half a mile away from the haram every time and a half a mile back, or maybe it's 3/4 of a mile, it's good. Alhamdulillah, brother, you're fit. Sister, you're fit. Go and do that. That's fine. But if you're looking for a quick meal, go straight outside the haram, quick meal, come back in the haram, forget it. It's really hard in Hajj. Unless you go outside of the meal times. See, when normally people are eating like the evening time or the lunch time, those are the worst times to go and get your food because everyone's rushing the same time to try and get their food. Okay, so you're going to ask that question. Another question you want to ask is, okay, they've given you the whole package for the, ask, is it including my flight? Is it including the staying over for all these nights? Does it include the qurbani or the sacrifice they're going to make? Now, many of them will say to you, no, it's not including that. It's not including your sacrifice, part. Now, when they say that to you, I want you to be a bit sharp because when you go out there, they will take off you £80 straight up for one sacrifice. And they don't tell you another thing, brother. I tell you, I found this out later on. I'm not giving it to you on the plate, brother, yeah? Free of charge. I'm giving this information to you. The sacrifice on the day of Hajj, the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, will cost you about £80. But the same sacrifice the next day, if you just wait for one day and you come out of your ihram one day later, it will cost you £40. It will cost you half the price. You know what half these guys do? They take your £80 from you for the day of Hajj and they make the sacrifice the next day. So they made another £40 off you. Wow, man! Another £40. And they are there to make you money. And every time you do something mistake, they say, we'll do sacrifice for you. And they'll you know what? Every time they say to you, we'll do sacrifice for you, not because if you make a mistake out there, you've got to give a penalty. And they'll tell you, we'll do it for you. They take £80 from you every time. That's haram. It's only costing them £40 to do it. And if they tell you, no, it's going to cost you £75, £80 to do it, I'm telling you, they're ripping you off. You're better off going to the small cubicles there, outside where they actually take these penalties or sacrifice. You can give it to them and they will actually do it for you. They might not do it exactly on time, especially if you're doing your own Hajj sacrifice. They might not do it. You've got to be careful of that. But they will take out your penalty and they will offer it for you. So ask, is that included in my package? Now you want to also ask, what's the flight you're taking? Where to where is it going to go? Okay. So a lot of these ones, unless you're going Saudi Airlines, and I think sometimes the British Airways, they do direct from Heathrow all the way to Saudi Arabia. The best is if you can get Saudi Airlines. You know why? Because when you go Saudi Airlines, you somewhat get treated like a Saudi. I tell you, that feels good, man. That feels good over there. You come off the plane, they see Saudi Airlines there. They kind of give you express service out there when you reach to Makkah or Medina. Now, if you're going via any other plane, I don't care what it is, Turkey, Jordan, Airlines, whatever, it's never going to go direct. But that doesn't matter. They'll tell you, it's only a 7-hour flight. It's true, it's only a 7-hour flight. But they didn't tell you have to wait 14 hours in between. Between the two flights, you have to wait 14 hours in between, 8 hours in between. They won't tell you all of that until you get the Haji Sabar Haji. It's all scams because they're saving money. And sometimes they take you on these economy flights, rubbish, no leg space, nothing. Ask straight up, what's the plane you're going to take me on? They're going to say to you, honestly, they'll get scared. You ask them all these questions, they're going to say, actually, why are you asking me all these questions? Because they don't expect this. They expect you to be lambs to come to them, and they do, mashallah, one by one. Yeah, they take your money from you. So when you ask them what kind of flight. Do research on the type of jumbo jet it is, what type it is. Right, go and do research on that. You'll find out exactly what it is, how many seater it is, and how much leg space you got. Because some people, they really, you're going for Hajj, you're banging your knees for 7-8 hours before you just get there. Your knees are gone. Then you're waiting for another 14 hours. That's nothing. Once you get to the Hajj terminal, please make your niyyah, okay? And I'm talking a bit negative here. I have to, because I've had a lot of bad experience out there, but I'm just giving you free information. And I've heard a lot of people what they've gone through. make your intention, you're going to get from the Jeddah terminal, okay, if you're landing in Jeddah to the hotel, you're probably going to get there in another 15 hours time, 16 hours, 17 hours, 18 hours, okay. Just make your niyyah, just sit there. What they'll do over there is, I don't know, I've never seen a country like that in my life. I've been to a lot of countries in the world, and I've heard of a lot of countries, but I've never seen anyone where they take your passport off you, then they give your passport back. Then they take it back off you, then they stamp it, put sticker on, they give, then they take it back off you, or they take sticker, stamp, sticker, sticker. They love putting stickers. I don't know, man, they're making you wait for 5, 6, 7 hours, roaming around with your passports, doing all this stuff, and then, you know, now alhamdulillah, at least they learn how to use computers. When I first went there, they were like, seriously. I'm looking at the guy thinking, man, I tell you, man, you should just go in the Guinness Book of Records. Seriously. For the slowest guy using a computer at a terminal. And they will seriously take a lot of time. You know why? Because they got too many people. They don't know who to give a job to, so they give another job to another guy. You stick stickers, yeah? You stick another sticker, yeah. That's what they're doing. They ain't got people to, you know, enough jobs anyway. Make your niyyah. Why? Because it will take you, if you get there in 8 hours from the terminal to your hotel in 8 hours, you're lucky, my friend. You are lucky. If you get there in less than that, around that time, you are lucky. Just say alhamdulillah, pray 2 rakats. Because I've actually spent once, yeah, it took, I think, 18 hours for me. These are extreme cases I'm saying. And for my colleague, it took 26 hours. 26 hours. It's crazy. Just to get from the terminal to the thing. Because the thing is, you know, ask this as well when you're booking it. Have they got their own private coaches? If they say they've got the private coaches, it's good. If they say no, you know, they'll provide us with coaches, I'm telling you straight now, yeah, they're going to mess you around. Some of these coaches are the worst coaches. Yeah, they're ready. You know, the coach itself is saying, please read my janazah. The coach is telling you, it's bad. The lights are gone. It's been scraped and banged so many times. You look at it, you think, Ya Allah, how is this coach standing? The driver, yeah, he's another one. He don't care about, you know, whether you're alive or dead inside, yeah. He just wants to make as many trips as he can from here to there, because each trip he makes, he's getting like 1,000 riyals or whatever it is, yeah. Each time he's working, he's getting that much time. He don't care. I mean, most of his coach drivers, they're mad. They're like, they got this anger you've never seen. You just said, mashallah, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Whoa, what did I do to you, man? And you tell the guy, just put the AC on. AC, wallah, takif wallah, put it on, right? Then after a little while, you might, you know, get too cold. You say, please turn it down. Wallah, yeah. It's like, whoa, easy, man. We're just asking for a simple thing, man. We paid for this service. And he don't care about that. You know what his thing is? He wants bakshish. He just wants the money. Now they've got big signs over there that say, don't give bakshish to the guys. You might feel sorry for them. If you want to give to them, that's fine, yeah? But I remember one guy said he's not going to give to them. Yeah? He told the whole coach guys, don't give bakshish, yeah? And he stayed tight on it. Yeah? You know what the coach driver did? Coach driver offloaded all the luggage, yeah? Except for the main guy, yeah? He had his luggage inside. He closed everything and that coach just ran with his luggage. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. They play games out there, man. And you know, if you want to get the best things out there in Hajj, and I'm telling you this, it might be really sad here for you to hear this. It's going to be sad for you to hear this. You know, out there, to get the best coaches, the best everything, the best service, you have to give envelopes. You know, white envelopes? 5,000 riyals here, 5,000 riyals there, 2,000 riyals here, 3,000 riyals here, under the table, you know, that kind of stuff, yeah? You have to do it out there in Saudi Arabia. You're going to think, what? Yes, I'm telling you, brother. When I found this, I couldn't believe this. Hajj, and these Arabs, they're so stinking rich, they don't need the envelope. So I said, why does that guy take an envelope when he's actually rich? And the guy said to me straight up, it's like, you know, it's like he feels good, he feels big. You give him a hadiyah, they call it hadiyah, bakshish, whatever, sweet words, halwa, sweetie. It's all rishwa, it's all bribery. Don't give no sweet name to bribery. And they give them the best services, the best coaches. They'll give them the 5-star, this and that, you know, full aircon, Mercedes Benz, the latest ones. And for every service they go through, you know, those companies that do that, You might want to just turn your eyes around and just say, you don't know anything, right? Just do your Hajj and come back, brother. Yeah, but I'm telling you one thing, yeah. You want to get those kind of services, you've got to give those envelopes, unfortunately. That's how it's become. So anyway, you're going to ask whether that's inclusive. Now, when you're going for Hajj, some of the things that you should take, one of the things I tell people, and they don't listen to me when they're going, is, you want to take a good pair of trainers. You're going to need them out there. Because once you come out of your ihram, take a good pair of trainers, something very soft, because when you come out of your ihram, you're going to need those trainers. And I tell you, other Hajjis are going to be jealous of you that you got those trainers. Because in ihram, you can't wear them. But outside ihram, you're coming out on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, just 3 days into Hajj, you're coming out of them. And you'll be walking, with your trainers, nice and good, and your feet will need them. Okay? Another thing is, when you take your slippers from here, try and take some nice slippers that you're comfortable. Wear them, because certain slippers, they have, the plastic, the way it's cut, it will rub against a certain part of your foot and it's going to give you blisters. Take Vaseline with you, brothers, as well, yeah? Because the brothers, ihram, you got nothing underneath. It's just nothing. So when your thighs are rubbing, yeah, it's going to cause a blister to come up with where your thighs meet. So put some Vaseline on that part. At least when you rub, it's not going to cause a blister. Right? Another thing is, your ihram, the one you're wearing, buy it from here, wear it here, see if you're comfortable. Because some males, their skin reacts to certain cloths. So wear it for a little while in the house, see if your skin reacts to it or not. And to wear your ihram, stick your legs out, brother, as far as you can, and then wrap it around while you've got it stretched out. And then tie it up, and then put your legs together. You know why? Because if you have your legs like this and you wear the ihram, you won't be able to walk. You'll be tripping over. Right? So stick your legs out as far as you can, wrap it around, tie it up, okay? And then put your legs together, you'll be able to freely walk. Have a good few practice of the ihram before you actually leave. Right? Now you're going to Makkah, Medina. If you've got a choice to go Medina first, I say to you, for Hajj, go to Medina first. Why? I'll tell you the benefits. Number one is that you will do the Hajj according to the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, because he went from Medina to Makkah and came back to Medina. Number two is, before the Hajj season, if you reach Medina, you'll be able to do your shopping nicely. And the best shopping place in the whole of Makkah, Medina is Medina, because everything's together, all the places are together. And you should pack your bags up with all the shopping you want to do, just pack them up. Don't do another one thing in Makkah. Why? Because the best prices you'll get in Medina before the Hajj season comes. If you come after the Hajj, the prices are up. You know why? Because they know that these Hajjis have got nowhere else to shop except for Medina. But if you're in Medina first, they know that you're going to get bargains in Makkah, so they'll try and put the prices down. The other thing is, when you're doing your shopping, just go quarter mile out. Just go a few 100 yards more out, and you'll find cheaper prices for the same thing outside the haram. Right in front of the haram, they're going to rob you daylight robbery. They're going to charge you miswak, like, I don't know, 3 riyals or something, and you can find 20 miswaks for 1 riyal. Just go outside. One miswak, 5 riyals. Outside, just a bit further away, 20 miswaks, 1 riyal or something. For anything, tasbih, anything you want to buy. Alright? So that's my thing to you, that you go outside and you try and get your stuff. And pack your bags up, and it's a good preparation for the Hajj, because you're in Medina, do your tahajjud, get yourself spiritually up before you actually go for Hajj. And try and fly out. On the way out, fly out from Jeddah. That's the best, I reckon. But if you can't find that, okay, you go to Jeddah first, you go to the Hajj terminal first, and wait till you get to the Haram. Now when you get to the Haram, when you're going to the Haram, don't forget that you've got to carry on spiritually keeping your mind up, saying all the labbaiks and everything else, and making du'as and the tasbihs and everything else. What you'll notice is people when they first get in the coach, everyone's going, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wa ni'mata laka la sharika laka. Everyone's going buzzing for a good half an hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Yeah, and after that the guy's voice is gone, he's drying out, everyone, they're all asleep. And when they get to the next bus or something, they first started off and then after that gone. What you want to do is you want to be a person who tries to keep it up. Right? Don't try and kill your voice off by saying all nice and loud. Just say it to yourself as you can hear it. But try to keep it constant and keep your mind where it's supposed to be, thinking of Allah, thinking of Allah. Right? Now when you get there to your hotel, you put all your stuff away, yeah? And you're going to go to the Haram. if it's your first time, try not to, when you go inside the haram, try not to keep your eyes up until you go right to the furthest pillar in the haram. Because when you look at the Kaaba the first time, it will actually draw you straight in and you'll freeze. It's an experience you can't explain. And you want to do your dua there and then you won't be able to do it. Your du'as are accepted on your first sight of the Kaaba. Any dua you do is accepted the first time you see the Kaaba. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he made his dua at that time. He said, oh Allah, all the good du'as I did in my whole life, I want you to accept all of them. Allahu Akbar. One shot, he got a few thousand in there, mashallah. Yeah. Okay, so whatever dua you do, inshallah, make it that your best dua the first time you see the Kaaba. And when you go to the furthest pillar, at least you can stand there nicely, look at the Kaaba and make your dua. Right? Now you're going to make your tawaf. The best place to do tawaf is on the ground floor. No matter how many other places they've got above there, yeah, I've tried all of them, brother. Tried the first floor, the second floor, the top one, all that, yeah. You can do your full tawaf in the full, hustle bustle of everyone together. Okay, so it's hardly moving down there. Yeah, around the Kaaba, you can do the full 7 tawafs in 45 minutes. Okay, whereas the same time up there, when they're freely moving around, yeah, the extensions that they made, people are doing Hajj there, tawaf there, they're going to take 2 to 2.5 hours doing the same thing. You'll do it in 45 minutes, even though you're going really slow. Of course, if it's not that busy, then you'll do it a lot quicker. And what you want to do is, this black stone, everyone dies for the black stone. Brother, I've been there for about 8 times, 9 times now. I've never kissed the black stone. Never attempted. You know why? Because there are a bunch of wild animals outside the black stone. The worst place you want to look at is very unfortunate. The worst place you look at in front of the Kaaba is where the black stone is. People are acting like animals. It's a death zone there. People are shoving each other, women losing their hijabs. I don't even know why women want to go inside there, man. Right? They're being pulled and hair showing, and people to get out. You see, for you to go and kiss the black stone is only half the job. For you to get back out alive again is the full job. Right? That's the full job. So, some people, they make dua, wallah, make me go and kiss the black stone. They're only done half the dua. Wallah, safely make me go and kiss the black stone. Half the dua, brother. So you go and kiss him nice and safely. Your problems just started. You got to get out. The way that you sometimes get out there is people pull you up on top of the head. You climb on top of the heads and you get out and you save your life. There's people, I've been with people, one guy broke his rib. Teeth being broken. And not only that, you've got another fitna starting now. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. There are certain people who are there to touch the wrong people. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. And there's a whole force of the Saudis actually just looking at that and monitoring that and pulling people away and questioning them about where their hands went when they were in that place. Of course, most people won't have that mindset, but there are people out there who are doing that. So you've got to be careful. There are people out there who've got that mindset and stealing and taking people's bags and things like that. Oh man, that is normal, man. That is normal. Cutting your belt or something and taking your stuff. So be careful with what you take out there and have deep pockets and keep them nice and safe as you're going around that part. Especially if you're going for your tawaf, it's nice to take a small bag with you. You put your slippers inside there, you put your water bottle inside there, and anything else you've got, keep it with you. So then as you go around the Kaaba or tawaf, you don't lose it. And when you're going around the Kaaba, I stay away from the black stone. Okay, you can get close to it, you can get to the door and so on. Okay, if you're lucky, go and kiss it, that's fine. But try not to hit anyone, shove anyone, push anyone. And you know what? If somebody pushes you, I'm guaranteed people are going to push you. They're going to elbow you. And they're going to shove you. And the worst are? You're going to think the men are going to be the worst. No. Some of the women are the worst. Men are bad. Women are worse. Because you know what women do? They just do the tawaf like that. They stick their elbows out, especially some of these Malaysian women, Indonesian women, they just stick it out like that. And you can crash straight into the elbow. Whoa. This is the strongest part of your body. Strongest part of your body is here. And it really hurts, I tell you that. And you know why the women, they look at you and they smile at you. They think, you're not going to do anything to me here, are you? Cause you some damage already, yeah? People will do all of that to you, but what you're going to do is you're going to ignore that. You've got to ignore all of that. And what you've got to do is you've got to try and focus on the Kaaba, focus on Allah Azza wa Jal, focus on your du'as. And when people rush, you know what? Don't say anything. People bang into it, don't say anything. People elbow you, don't say anything. That's the best Hajj you will do. I've done Hajj where I've told them in Arabic, in Urdu, because I know Urdu, I know Arabic, I know Bengali, I know English. I've told them in the language I thought they understood. I told them, don't do this. Do you think they're going to listen to you? Nah, they'll just carry on. Don't spoil your Hajj for these people. Just do your stuff, go around. If somebody barges, let them just go. Just you're there for Allah. Okay? So you've done your tawafs and so on, and you pray your 2 rakats. Go away from the Maqam Ibrahim, as furthest behind you can. You will find plenty of space to do it. So do your 2 rakats, drink your zamzam, and then you're going for your Safa and Marwa. And when you go for that, Safa and Marwa, is that you will go on 7 times that you have done that. You come out. Now you've got to shave your head, you've got to clip your head. The worst people at Hajj time are going to be the people on the streets waiting with a blade to cut your hair. Worse, they've got no hygiene, brother. They're doing double blades with different people. Imagine somebody else's blood goes with your blood and he's got some disease with the blood, you're going to catch it, right? You should even wear a mask if you can, because of the amount of people that are breathing here. If you can, just wear that. Obviously in Ihram you can't do it, but outside Ihram try and do it, because it will save you from getting all the coughs, right? I'll tell you the worst place where you get the cough. I'll tell you that in a little bit, yeah? But anyway, you come out of there, you want to shave your head or cut it, go to a barber. Go to a proper barber, sit down inside there. And you know what? Don't go to the first barber, go to the last barber. You know why? Because the last barber will give you the cheapest price. Or go back away somewhere else where people are not going there. He'll give you the best price because he ain't got any of the customers. Right? If you go to the busiest one, he will rip you up with your money. Right? Anyway, go to the last one, tell him straight what you want, cut down, cut and so on. You come out, fine, go to your hotel, have your shower, fine, you're out of your ihram now. You'll go and do your salahs, your tawafs, your tilawah. And the best thing is to go there and just spend time looking at the Kaaba. The best thing is to do your tilawah, do your tawaf, go around the Kaaba. That's an ibadah in itself, just going around the Kaaba. Okay? And if you want to really go and work out where the Imam stands for prayer. It's a really good thing if you can work that out. Because if you work that out, at Jummah time, go and sit there early in the morning. Man, you'll see the Haram Imam right in front of you giving the khutbah. It's really lovely. You can get that. But if you go for Jummah, please make sure that you sit in a place where 3 hours later, the sun is not going to be on top of you. You think, how do I calculate that? Well, you can calculate it, brother. You better make that calculation. Don't make a mistake of going in a place, I'm in the shade. But you're not looking at the sun, how it's moving. And it moves quite fast, I tell you. And if you're in the sun baking for 2 hours, I tell you, you're going to be dehydrated and you're going to have your worst nightmare there sitting in the sun like that for Jummah. So go and sit in a place, and if you're going to go for Jummah and get inside the Haram, you better go 9 in the morning. 9 o'clock in the morning. Just go there, you'll find a nice place, sit down there, take your place up and wait for 3 hours, 4 hours till the Jummah, and you'll enjoy that Jummah. And the best thing about it is, if you're right downstairs, because they're going to close the doors. After 9:30, 10 o'clock, the doors are closed. You won't be able to get inside. But if you get there early in the morning and you're in the bottom, the bottom base, the best thing is straight after Jummah, as soon as the Imam's done salam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, go straight for the Kaaba. That's the time you can go right and touch everything you want. Touch all the walls you want. You're probably going to get the black stone there as well, because there's barely 3 or 4 rings around the Kaaba at that time. People want to all get out because people are hot around the Kaaba. They all want to get out. That's the time. Go there and try and touch everything you want. I've done that a few times. Somebody gave me that hint once. It was a really good thing. Go straight after Jummah and you'll touch it. So anyway, now you're waiting for the day of Mina. When you go to Mina, I'm not giving you all the fiqh stuff, okay? This session is not about fiqh stuff. This is about purely all the tips and things, okay? So you come to Mina and these are tents. Don't go straight in the tent, please. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, where's my tent? I got my bag. I want to get my best place. Okay, fine. Get inside there, put your bag there, jump, run out. And if the aircon's inside already playing, inside those old aircons on, inside the tent, do not breathe. Don't even go inside there. Just drop your bag at the door and just run. You think, why, Sheikh? Why are you telling us to run, man? We're hot, man. We just come from Makkah to Mina. I'll tell you, brother, run. You know why? Those aircons in all those tents, thousands, 100,000s of tents. The aircon hasn't been used for 300 360 days. You know the amount of bacteria in those. They're going to turn into a vampire, brother. So you better stay out there. Stay out there for a good couple of hours, 2-3 hours, because you know, you actually notice the moment someone puts you on, the red dust comes out. They haven't been conditioned. Don't tell me the Saudis going around conditioning all these air cons and cleaning up for you, brother. There's no cleaning up for you, brother. You go there, all the Hajj's coughs come from there. Because just before that, they weren't coughing. It took a bit of time to work this out. They're not coughing before that. They go there in the tent. As soon as they switch it on and the dust they take it in, everyone's coughing. They're coughing. They'll be coughing till they come back. And it's sometimes a vicious cough. It's a whooping cough that doesn't stop. You go to Medina after that, you won't hear a second people are stopping coughing. You'll hear the Imam al-Dhuhr will say, Allahu Akbar. Everyone, we're coughing all over. Why? Because of this place. So let that dust come out. You roam around outside for a good few hours, till you come back in. When it's settled down, then you can come back and stay inside there. And now the toilets there are not going to be the best of your toilets, but they're still very good, So please get used to sitting down and using toilet. Because some people don't get used to that. They have to sit on a seat to toilet. And you're going to be stuck for some hours, right? Or maybe some good time to find those toilet seats. But even then, you know what? I'll give you a tip, Most people will go to the closest toilet they find. Do your research. Go walk around the block. You'll find toilets just a little bit away. Nobody's going to. Seriously, nobody's going to. Go and use those toilets. And do your wudu. Okay, you're in Mina and you spent the whole sort of day there. Next day you're going to Arafat. When you go to Arafat, it's a bit spoiled now with some tents that are aircon right now, because Arafat, you want to be out in the heat. The best is, brother, even if you got a tent with aircon there, be out with Arafat in the heat and make a dua in there. It's wonderful. With some tent over you, obviously, something that shades you, but make dua. It's beautiful. It's beautiful because you're supposed to make a long dua. On this day, the Prophet ﷺ made his dua from Dhuhr all the way. He combined Dhuhr and Asr together and he made his dua all the way to Maghrib. 5-hour dua. 5-hour dua approximately he made. So you want to be making your dua at this time. Build your stamina before you go so you can make such a long dua and ask Allah all the things you want to ask Allah. Okay, so now comes to the sunset. Now I'm telling you by now, people, they're going to be crazy now, bro. People's sabr is running out. If you haven't taken that much sabr, you're running out, brother. You know what you see now? You see people start quarreling now, fighting now. By the time the sun set on the day of Arafat, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, you hear all these people arguing and you think, what? They're still in Hajj, they're still in Ihram. Anyway, you go to Muzdalifah. When they go to Muzdalifah, this is the night you're going to spend on the rocks. So be prepared. Make sure you've got a little mat there the day before. You pick up your pebbles. Okay, fine. But when you're there, it doesn't matter what. It's only one night, Just stay there, but try and find a flat space somewhere. Just walk away from people a bit, wherever you can, and find a flat space to stay there. It's like the roadside or something on the hills. You stay there and spend that one night, make your du'as and whatever else. The next day is going to be the main day. You come for the main day for Hajj, you've got to now stone. And when you stone, they've made it really easy for people now because they've made multi-layers now and you can go and stone. I'll tell you the easiest tip I can give you for stoning is don't stone, like if the ring is here, in front of you, don't stone just here at the mouth of the ring. Go all the way around to the other side. Nobody's going to be standing there. Stone easily from there. Just go around semicircle and stone from that side, because everyone will rush over here and stone, and some will stone you on your head. So to avoid all of that, just go down halfway around and you can do it easily. Now that day is going to be the busiest day. You have to walk from there all the way into Makkah al-Mukarramah. So be prepared. Sometimes you start, stop walking, and you're in your sandals as well. It's a pretty long walk here, so if you have to take something to lean on, take something to lean on. If you need a chair, take a chair. If you really need a wheelchair, there are plenty of boys who got these wheelchairs and you pay them some money, they'll take you all the way down there. Anyway, you get there, you're going to have to do your tawaf this day. You're going to have to find out when your sacrifice has been done. Alright, and then once that's been done and you've done your tawaf as well, then you basically, there's a sa'i to do. Now I'll give you another tip. According to the Hanafi madhab, this is another tip is this day you have to do the tawaf and you have to do the sa'i. It's going to be quite a lot. You've walked from Mina all the way to Makkah. If you want to bypass that sa'i, or you want to do it in advance, what you do is when you've done your Umrah tawaf, right? The first one when you did it, right? In between there, just come to the haram, do your tawaf, with the intention of pulling your sa'i of the 10th day forward. So this is like, the day before Hajj, you do a tawaf, and with that you do a sa'i. This sa'i is for your 10th day. It's a future one you're pulling back. So on the 10th day, the busiest day, you don't have to do a sa'i. You just do tawaf, and you can basically, come out. You're ready. Once your sacrifice has been done, you can come out of your ihram. Now that day, I'll give you another thing. Most people don't know. They'll never tell you about this day. That day is probably the worst day, because you have to make it back to Mina now. All the Hajj, they make it back to Mina now. When they make it back to Mina, most people have got no transport. And even if you find a transport, those guys will rip you off again. I've been ripped off so many times here. Don't ask me. You know what they'll tell you? They'll take you right up to your tent. None of those guys can take you to your tent. Don't fall for it. Don't pay your bucks. You're going to lose it. Why? They'll take you to the middle of a bridge somewhere. They'll say, Hajjis, get out. I can't go any further. They'll say, road blockage and this. They knew that from before. They're making money from you. Even if you get private transport, he can't go through. The only ones that get through are the bakshish, brother. And the bakshish pay you a lot, brother. They'll allow those ones, brother. Yeah. And the second way of getting through, if you're really stuck, because sometimes your legs are hurting, you're really tired. If you don't want to walk all the way back, and the other thing is, for most people, it's not just the walking back. They don't know where to go. Mina is like looking at some stars in the sky. I don't know what the difference between that star is and that star. Because they've got pillars there with numbers, and they got the Asian tents here, they got the European tents here, they got this tents and the American tents and whatever else here. You don't know what's what. You see some you don't know. The best, either you learn the system there of the numbering. There is a numbering system there, but it's very weird and it takes time to get used to. Sometimes you see this number here, that number, it don't match. There's a way of working it out, but you have to work it out. And I'll tell you one thing to do. As soon as you get to Mina, please pick up a map. There's plenty of maps there. They're in English as well. When you got a map, mashallah, alhamdulillah, you can navigate your way, right, through to your tent. Please pick up a map, find out where you are, walk around a bit, look at the pillars. There's many numbers there. Find out what's the number next to your tents, because on this night, you're going to have to get back to your tent. And people, oh my God, they get lost sometimes for a day, 2 days. They can get lost. So what you do is, there's another way of getting back quick, is that you pay a guy on a motorcycle. Yeah, brother. So a guy on a motorcycle, they'll take some good water money off you. It might cost you about £20 here, but if you really can't make that journey, just get on the motorcycle, but make sure you say your shahada, because you're gonna need it, brother. The way the guy drives here is like Jannah is just there. He's gonna just go straight to Jannah. Actually, I closed my eyes, I read my shahada. Yeah, I got on one with. I needed it that day because my legs were hurting. Yeah. Because I've got a condition as well with my hip joint. So the guy basically the journey that takes you hours that day, he did in 20 minutes. Subhanallah. Like some people's taraweehs, you know what I'm saying? Like, brothers, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, he got there really quick. He took us there. He took like 20 quid or whatever it was, it cost us to pay the 2 guys on a motorcycle, and took us there. Alhamdulillah, we got to the tent. Now, you out of your ihram now don't forget, you're supposed to still have your hotel in Makkah. If you want to go for a shower or something, whatever, you can go over there. Of course, you can take your showers in Mina. Next 2 days, you're going to be stoning. It's not that difficult, because they made it really easy now with all the multi-levels. Don't worry about it. Just do what I said, go round a bit, semicircle in the stone there. Now, when you come out of there, what I want to say to you is that now most people now are in the mood of get out of there, go back home, get out of there. Now, you know what I do over there? I don't even take a mobile phone that's switched on. I don't even have a mobile phone. When I get there, I don't even tell my family I'm there, because the thing is, you're gone there, you're supposed to be a dead man. When does a dead man get up in his coffin and say, hey, I'm coming back? When does a dead man do that? You're a dead man, you're in Hajj, you're in Ihram. If you don't come back, you're shaheed, they bury you down there. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, brother, you come up on the day of judgment. The hadith says you will come with your ihram on the day of judgment. You'll say labbaik on the day of judgment. You'll finish your hajj on the day of judgment. Allahu Akbar. There'll be no more lucky person than you. So why you want to, like, every time you see these queues of people phoning, it's too hot here, the food is not nice, I'm coming back very soon, I can't wait to get back. Think, man, you losers, man. Go for hajj, go for the spirituality. right? Don't phone every other man and people on the phones. And you know the other thing, oh my God, gets me really wound up, yeah, is now that the mobile phones are, yeah, my God, it's like a personal camera. Before they used to stop you taking cameras inside the haram. This was like good sort of 15 years back, yeah. Now they can't stop you because everyone's mobile phone is a camera. And you know the worst part is like when the night time comes and people are putting the flash on and they're taking their photos and you're just trying to sit there looking at the Kaaba and all you see is like a football stadium, flash, 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 flash. Oh, it's horrible, man. Especially, you know, you're trying to just do your normal ibadah. There's guys on the phone. You know, you know when you're walking and the hundreds of people, thousands of people are walking, you can't walk backwards. It's dangerous to walk backwards, isn't it, guys? Yeah. There's some people walking backwards, yeah, saying, yeah, you know, take a picture of me, yeah, video. He's walking backwards. He could trip and cause a stampede. There's people around tawaf. Yeah, mama, fourth tawaf. Yeah, I was here. And then, you know, lining up in front of the balconies to take the photos in front of the Kaaba. It's like, what do you think the Kaaba is, man? The Kaaba's not Hollywood. Kaaba's not Hollywood, man. Where do you think you are? And it's sort of, you know, you think, are you ibadah? I mean, do people do this? Tell me this. Today, you're going to do iftar today, yeah? Are you going to, like, as soon as you're doing your iftar, you're going to take a date like this, you know? Hey, guy, hey, hold this. Take a picture. I was fasting. Yeah, I was fasting. Does anyone do that in the masjid? Say, you know, hey, guy, just take a picture of me. Well, wait. Allah. Yeah, that's so cool, man. I was praying, man. Who in the world does that? So what are you doing in Hajj? Hajj is ibadah. Why are you taking photos everywhere, you know, wherever you can, and the mobile phones that are going off and so on? Anyway, that's a whole world. Please just don't take it with you. And if you can tell people so to stop this nonsense, you tell them to stop it. Otherwise, just carry on just doing your Hajj. Anyway, the other thing I want to tell you is that, okay, you're going to get onto your coaches or whatever else it is, and you're going to make your way to Medina. If you go there, alhamdulillah, do your ziyarah, whatever else it is. And you've got your quick paths that you're going to visit. Now, one tip I'm going to give to you is that if you can please read up on the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, then you will really enjoy knowing what the Kaaba is about, knowing what Medina is about. It will give you a lot of inspiration. A lot of people don't do this. If you read the story of Ibrahim ﷺ, you will understand Hajj. If you read, you know, because Hajj is about Ibrahim, Ismail ﷺ, about Muhammad ﷺ, about the sacrifice of Hajra, the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So basically it's Safa, Marwa. Why are you going up and down there? Because she was in a desperate situation. She was looking for a miracle of God, and she turned to Allah. Allah gave her Zamzam. Zamzam that's a miracle, because Ismail alayhi salam kicked the ground. Zamzam came out when there was no water in the whole of Makkah. What about the Kaaba? Well, that's another whole miracle. Father and son building the house, middle of nowhere, no one's here. Allah says, oh Ibrahim, call people for Hajj. He says, me? He said, call the whole world to Hajj. He said, Allah, how am I going to call the whole world? Allah said, just make the call, I'll bring them. So he built the Kaaba, he made the call, and whoever, they say that if you make it to Hajj, then you came through the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salatu salam. So it's a miracle. You see the millions of people together, it's beautiful. These are wonderful things that you want to, you know, look forward to. It's a miracle. See that many colored people being together for those few days at least, you know, without all the racism and everything else that goes with it. It's beautiful. Now, what I want to say to you, brothers, is that read up on these things. It will make you feel better, more spiritual about Hajj. Build yourself up with this, because you will see the seerah. Go and read that, some parts of that before you go to Hajj. You will enjoy your Hajj a lot better. And when you finally, you know, finish your Hajj and you're coming back to, you know, your place, you've got to come back with the intention that you're never going to sin, or you do your best to never sin again ever in your life. That's what Hajj is about. Allah said while you're there you don't sin, but when you come back more so you make the intention, I'm going to change for the better. I'm going to try and be a good Muslim for the rest of my life and never go back to the ways that I've had before. And if you make that intention and you've done your Hajj properly and you had all the mindset I said, and you're doing your tilawah, your dhikr, and you're constantly trying to spiritually lift yourself up, and you're sending the salawat and the durood, the salawat on the Prophet ﷺ while you're in Medina Munawwara, or even before that, you know, you come back and you've actually spent a wonderful Hajj. You talk less to people, you talk more to Allah. Beautiful Hajj. You didn't bother about people, they hit you, they barged into you, they did whatever, you didn't bother about it. Beautiful Hajj. You come back, and I'm telling you, you know, these other things I've said to you to look out for, you know, your foods and other things that you look out for. But you know, all the things I said to ask your hotel manager, beautiful. Now, if you're coming back and you've got complaints, and these guys have messed you up with the monies and everything else, look, if, as I said to you, who do you complain to? Well, you know, when you're over there, there are when you go there, they will take you to a place where you get your, they will get you these sort of Hajj tags, right? These red tags for the European lot. You know that office where you get the tag? That guy is actually the guy who's given your operator the permission to bring Hujjaj over. You complain to him. He'll be also in Mina. He'll have a little office there in Mina. If you go there and you complain to him about your Hajj operator, the guy who brought you over, actually that guy's going to be sweating, because if he loses his visa, then that's it. He won't be bringing Hajjis anymore. Go and see those people. If you can't speak in Arabic, take someone with you who can translate for you. And if they're not going to take you seriously out there because they're messing you around, take their number, their everything. If they're being monitored by the IATA, and if they're being directly getting the visas off the Hajj embassy and Saudi embassy, you can clearly make a direct complaint to the embassy over here against them. And you stay on it. Don't worry, they'll cack them. They will do anything for you not to go ahead with that complaint. They'll first tell you, Akhi, go ahead, do what you like. You can't do anything to me. You can't do anything to me. They'll give you all these threats. But if you follow it up, they will seriously say, look, brother, whatever you want, just don't complain. Because once they lose the Hajj, that 200,000 pounds they make, brother, they're not going to be making it anymore. Right? They're not going to be making it anymore. So anyway, I've given you some of the tips and things I could. May Allah Azza wa Jal accept any of you that are going to Hajj. Make dua for me as well when you're out there. If you're going, Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الذكر علم ونور الحاملات سنا ونور والرسمات هنا سرور يا حلوات تلك السنين